Hi, everyone. This is Alicia, and I'm here with Lisa and DEIDRE, and we're with ERA King Real Estate. Today is our first episode, and we're going to talk about us. You're going to get to know us, and we're going to talk about all things real estate.
Welcome to Community Real Estate Roots, Agents Building Relationships, where we explore the heart of real estate through meaningful connections. Join Alicia, DEIDRE, and Lisa as they guide you through stories behind every sold sign and dive into how agents nurture communities, one home and one relationship at a time.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey. How's your day been?
Hectic.
It's been crazy.
Yeah.
I started really early this morning. But we're here to introduce ourselves. Is that what that's what we're gonna do, right?
Mm-hmm.
DEIDRE, you want to go first?
Sure. Hey, I'm DEIDRE Garcia. I live out in Calera, and I have been a realtor for going on my third year. Before that, I was a apartment manager for 10 years. So, I've always been housing people, giving people homes. So, Alicia, how long have you been in the business?
I have been in the business almost 5 years, so I'd say a good solid 4. A little bit about me. I'm Alicia Anderson. Born and raised in Calera, did not get far. And like I said, I've been in real estate for almost 5 years, and I do have a history or background in law enforcement. I dispatched for a local police department for about 13 years. And I decided I wanted to change altogether. I thought I need that awesome schedule of a real estate life. And let me tell you, surprise! I got the schedule and everything that came with it, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So, what about you, Lisa?
All right. Well, I am proud to say I'm going on year 7.
Nice.
Yes. It was one of those situations where I had worked in corporate America for basically my entire life, working life in retail for Fortune 500 companies. I had to travel a lot. I worked 70, 80 hours a week, loved every bit of it, but I got to a point in time in my life that I wanted to be able to do my own schedule, even if it was 70 hours a week.
And it can be.
And it can be. And something like you guys know, we can basically work from anywhere. If we're out of town, somebody here can help everyone through. So I wanted to be able to take everything I learned in leadership and in the retail world and transfer that to the real estate industry. So that's how I got started. I did it, jumped off the cliff, scared my husband to death. He said, "You really quit your job?" But I always tell people it was the hardest, but the best thing I've ever done.
It's hard to walk away from a guaranteed paycheck.
Oh, yeah. When you wake up reality and that you're used to that paycheck being in your bank on Friday afternoon.
And as most people know, real estate is commission-based, and it's not always guaranteed. And that was one of the hardest things for me was I was getting paid every 2 weeks. And I did real estate for 2 years, almost 2 years, still working. And my husband finally said, make a decision. What do you want to do? And I had to jump. So I jumped off the cliff and I chose real estate. And I'm glad that he pushed me. I'm glad I pushed myself. And it has been the best decision.
Yes. Yeah. I think, you in this industry, you do in the beginning, as you're going through. I mean, you go through stages where's that first client going to come from? You're doing all the right things, and all of a sudden it starts to happen. You get that first client and you think you're in heaven because it's gonna it's gonna start and do everything that you want in your life. But I can tell you guys, because someone told me and I didn't believe it, is between year 3 and year 5, that's where you really start to take off because you've built some consistency. The word is there. People believe in you for being able to help them with whatever their needs are. So just to guys let you know that some of your best is still yet to come.
I can see it. I can see that. I think even this year alone, things have picked up for me personally with my business, that I'm talking to people that have already bought and wanting to buy again, even making investments and possibly even selling a personal home. So I can see that it's, coming full circle, and I am excited for this year and next year.
Yeah, me too. I've had several repeat people reaching out, or people that, the first year or two, you're touching base with people and they don't know what they need to do. And then so you get them in contact with lenders, and then they realize, oh, well, I'm not ready. So some of those people are starting to reach out again to me this year. So that's just part of it,
Yeah, and I think it's a hard, when I look back on, the industry I came from, the person walks into the establishment. You can build a relationship with them right then and there.
Yeah.
It's not building over time. Yes, to keep them coming back every day, you have to build that relationship. But as a realtor, it takes time to build those relationships and build the faith in what you need to do. I tell people now, you will get a transaction when you least expect it. For example, I got a phone call Monday from a family that moved here, was relocated for work 3 years ago. Him and his mom, he brought his mom with him. They were wonderful to work with, found him a great house out in Gardendale. I send him random cards in the mail and, send him little texts every now and then. Well, his mom called me Monday and she said, "Oh, I'm so glad you answered. Do you remember me?" And I said, "Yes. How are you guys?" And she says, "We're wonderful, but my sister's going to move here and we were really, really hoping you could help her."
That's awesome.
And I said, "Of course, I would love to help your sister." So her sister called me today, and we'll get that going. So because of service of one, now you have service of another that are coming in the area. So that's why it's so important to be the best you can be.
Well, to make it a relationship business, most people think that we're just in it for the money, we're in it for the transaction.
We're rich.
Yeah, hardly. But I mean, it's to have that relationship. I may not can help someone today, but I can foster that relationship, and I may be able to help them by the end of the year or even next year. But it's all about building the relationship and not just the transaction.
Right.
And people want to talk to somebody who's not going to judge them. Because
Absolutely.
they're terrified. Hey, this is my story. This is where I'm at. Okay, you're in a perfect place. This is what you have to do. These are the steps. These are the people you need to talk to. Not everybody comes with perfect credit, with a ton of money in the bank, or just ready to buy with cash and knows exactly what they want to look for. People have no clue. I didn't. When I was looking for my house, I had no clue. I didn't know what my credit was. I didn't know how much money I had to put down. I didn't know what areas. I didn't know what was important. You just don't know what you don't know until you know.
And that's why we're here.
Exactly.
Well, and so many, I think even today it's a little bit better, but when I started, one of the things that really surprised me was how many first-time home buyers or that first-time seller or whatever had not been educated, and they didn't have the education that they needed to make the right decisions on the biggest investment they're going to make in their life is real estate, and you need to know what you're doing. So I had so many first-time home buyers. I had a young one in our neighborhood, and she was a nurse. She had already gotten out of school. She'd done some mentorship. She was working at UAB, great guarantee. She goes, oh, I said, why are you renewing your lease? Why don't you buy you a small house that you're renting right now? And she goes, oh no, I can't buy a house. Nobody's going to give me the money for a house. And I said, so did a lender tell you that? And she said, no, people just tell me that I have to work for all this time and do all this. And I said, okay, why don't you make the decision when the lender tells you that you can't buy a house?
Yeah.
And within 2 days, we had her approved, and we were searching for houses, and she cried and, just thought she would never do it. So many people, and this is where my favorite saying of believe came in, is just nobody believed that they could buy the American dream. So that's what warmed my heart and really makes me do this as well.
Yeah. And people don't realize that if you can afford rent, you can afford a house.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're paying way more to rent a house than your mortgage would be.
Right. And
You're paying someone else's mortgage.
you're
not
paying
yours.
somebody else's mortgage, and you,
You're investing in their future,
right.
their
So
retirement.
why not invest in yours?
And you figure, you're spending $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 a year that you just open the window and threw the cash out. Whereas if you're making $1,000 mortgage payment and you put in $12,000, there's a piece of that pie that you've built some equity in.
And some people are like, oh, well, if I'm renting, at least the person I'm renting from will take care of this and take care of that and do all this. I'm like, yeah, but the money that you're spending, you can hire someone to take care of this. You don't have to be the one to
Right.
do all the things.
Right.
There are companies that take care of all those things for you.
Yeah. So I think it's better today. I think more are more eager to know that they can have that home ownership. But the thing that still stands out today, as it did 7 years ago, is really the lack of education of what it is. And they think that, a lot in this industry, they think we're in it just, if we can't help them, to your point a minute ago, if we can't help them today, then I'm sorry I wasted your time. Well, you're not wasting my time. We need to help you get there. If it takes 6 months, it's 6 months. I've had some that I've stayed with, and after 2 years, we finally got them into a house. And that was the most rewarding
Feeling.
feeling you
see
can
them.
ever have.
Absolutely. Yep.
And then watch them have kids in this house. And then the phone call you get one day that says, okay, I'm busting at the seams.
Let's do it again.
We got to do it again.
But bigger.
Yep. But I have no idea what to do to sell this house. And I said, I'll be right over.
And I'm amazed at the people that, they want to talk to you once they have everything tidy and neat.
Right.
And they are like, well, we don't want to bug you. I didn't want you to have to go show me all these houses. I'm like, well, that's kind of like what I do.
That's my job.
I'm supposed to do that.
That's one of the most fun parts about the job. I'm nosy.
Yeah.
I'm nosy. I want to see
Absolutely.
things. I mean, we have seen some things. We have been in some houses with
That's
some
a whole different episode.
Yeah. Absolutely.
easier for for later on.
For later.
But that's one of the fun. That's one of the most fun parts of it.
It is viewing houses, scheduling houses, viewing them, and taking people through them. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're gonna be shocked.
Yeah.
So
No, it's a great industry. And I mean, all I can say is please do your investigation on who you probably have a cousin, an aunt, a friend next door, somebody that you went to school with that is a real estate agent. And they're probably really good people, but are they the right fit for you? Are they going to educate you and what you need to do? So my piece of advice is always interview your agents. I tell people that all the time.
Yeah.
Just interview me.
Talk to me.
There's no commitment. Just
No. Let's go have coffee.
let's go have
talk
coffee.
about it.
Right.
See if we connect, because even if we don't, then I don't want to waste your time.
Right.
You know?
I don't want you to waste my time either.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you got to have the best experience.
Yes.
And
Right.
If
And it may not be with me,
right.
Yeah.
unfortunately. I mean,
Or sometimes it's you just don't have the expertise
possibly, yeah.
in what they're what they're looking for.
Yes.
Not that we can't
Find
figure it
them.
out.
Yes.
And we
Figure it
can,
out, or even,
I'm all about phoning a friend.
yes. I phone friends all the time. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I know everything about real estate. I have Lisa's number on speed dial. I was talking to her last night, as a matter of fact, at 8:45, and she was yawning in my ear.
Yeah, I was.
I mean, I had needed some advice, and I wasn't sure what to do, and she helped me.
That's what we're here for. Is to do the best thing that we can do. And sometimes it's just about saying it out loud. Mm-hmm. You knew the answer to the question.
I did know the answer. I just needed validation.
You needed validation for it. And I think that's the other great thing when we're together and we've built a relationship together. It's not about, oh my God, that's Deidre's client. I can't talk about it. It's about helping the other person to give the best experience or the best knowledge or the best everything to that client. The real estate commission tells us that. That is our job.
So this first podcast, we wanted to let people know little things about us. So, Alicia, you want to talk about your family or your interest and, let people know a little bit about us.
My husband actually asked, "What are you going to tell him?" And I'm like, I mean, do I
I am not surprised he said
do I
that.
have to mention you? And now that Deidre is saying mention him.
Well, people want to know.
I have a husband. We've been married 4 years. 4 years. We got married during COVID. Awesome COVID wedding. I have one daughter who is 20, and I have 3 wonderful stepchildren, all boys, 29, 25, and 19. I'm questionable on the 25-year-old.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Great stepchildren. And, of course, the other loves of my life, my dogs.
I knew that was going to.
I love my dogs. I have a 70-pound lap dog. She's a golden doodle. And then I have a 10-pound, I don't even know what you call her, a Yorkie poo.
Yeah.
And a Chihuahua. My Chihuahua is like an old man. Like, he just does not.
He hides. I don't think I've ever seen him.
He does not. He likes to. He stays in his kennel. We leave it open, but he stays there, and
That's his
that.
house.
That's what he'll come out every now and then for food and water and to go out. That's it. And you don't see him. And, it's funny you say that, because my mom's like, I never see him. I never see Gizmo. You don't love him. I'm like, I do love him. I have his little house set up over here.
Gizmo don't want to be bothered with anybody.
He doesn't want to be bothered. And he's my oldest. He is 7. So he's like an old man. But
Okay.
Yeah.
so that's me.
All right. Well,
What about you?
me, I have a 25-year-old daughter, a 24-year-old daughter, a 12-year-old son, and a 10-month-old grandson who's not spoiled at all.
Not at all.
Not even a little bit.
And I have a rescue dog that is part Labrador and part Golden Retriever named Shadow. And we have a cat that's kind of like a neighborhood cat. Call her Kitty Kitty. No, original. But I was like, I'm not gonna have this cat. It's not gonna be my cat. I'm not naming the cat
your
because
cat.
it's not my cat.
But it's Kitty
So
Kitty.
I'm like, come here, Kitty Kitty. Come here, Kitty Kitty. Well, her name is Kitty Kitty now.
Right.
So she's my cat.
She comes when she's called, apparently.
She knows where her food comes from.
Listen, the first time you fed her, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kitty was not going anywhere else.
Well, that was when I was working in an apartment complex. These people dipped out and they were on the second level and they had a screen door or glass door. They left it open and they had a big pile of food. Well, when you're in an apartment, you don't know somebody's moved out until they're behind.
Yeah.
And then that's when you can go into the apartment when they haven't paid for 3 months and you're like, okay. And sure enough, it was a hot mess and they had left Kitty and she would go outside, go down the tree, roam around and then go back upstairs. And so all the neighbors started feeding her and stuff. And I was like, I'm not taking her home. I'm not doing it.
Kitty
to my house.
home.
Kitty lives not in an apartment anymore.
Because it snowed. And I was like, I just can't. Because people were moving in that apartment and they were taking that cat. And I was like, they're going to call the pound. And I was like, no, she's coming home. And my husband's like, we're not taking that cat. I was like, no, we're not. I got somebody lined up. Somebody's going to take this cat. I'm sure of it. It's been probably 5-6 years.
That's y'all's cat.
That's my cat.
They're not coming for Kitty.
No.
All right, Lisa, what about you?
Well, I am married. I have
Only seen him in pictures.
Well, he's like Gizmo. He doesn't like
I forgot my husband. I'm married too. Sorry, sorry, babe.
He's like Gizmo. He doesn't like to be. He works. Doesn't like to be bothered. He
doesn't want to socialize.
Person. He's not a social butterfly. Never been one, which is really weird because I've always been a social butterfly. But anyway, I'm not going to say how long we've been married because I would have had to have married him when I was 3.
Because you're only what?
Yeah, I'm only, yeah. But I have 2 children, a girl and a boy, that were actually born in Boulder, Colorado. That's where we actually met. Fast forward many years and many journeys. And now I have a grandson that just graduated high school.
I saw that, yeah.
Again, I had to be 3 at that time. And then my son lives in Arizona now. He's been there for over 10 years and never thought he would ever be married or have any children. He's always been a gamer, and I didn't know how you would have
one of those.
I didn't know how
there's hope.
He was ever going to have kids with a computer screen. But he has 3 boys.
Oh, wow.
And then they were supposed to stop. And Mom said, no, I have to have a girl. And I said, you're not having a girl because we ain't got nothing but boys. And sure enough, she had a little girl.
Aww, that's awesome. But we're stopped now.
That's part of the reason that I also came to this industry is that I wanted to be able to get on a plane, fly to Arizona. I can still work. Alicia, you can be boots on the ground for me.
Absolutely.
And do all that because I know you're fixing to go out west.
We're going out west, which I was going to say, I totally thought you were going to Arizona last week. I had it in my head that that's where you were going.
Oh, no, I went to Jamaica.
And then she was like, I'm in Jamaica. And I'm like...
It was for Carmine's graduation.
Well, I just, for whatever reason, I just...
Did you ever get to pick a Caribbean island to go to for your graduation?
Nope.
No, I didn't.
Nope. I've never been out of the States.
We were lucky to sneak away and get a place at Panama City, right?
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to go, but...
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying.
But
so anyway, guys, I think that they probably heard enough of us for right now.
Probably. I'm sure we'll drop some
many other stories that we could probably tell, and you will probably hear them on our next episode.
Yeah. So we thank you so much for joining us, and we will talk to y'all next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast platform or subscribe to our YouTube channel, Your Neighbor, Your Agents. To contact Alicia, Deidre, or Lisa, please visit www.yourneighboryouragents.com.